y'all? Welcome back to the Carpenter's Apprentice. Today, we're out here at the Texas Biomedical Research Institute to learn more about the coronavirus. I know a lot of you guys are afraid, and so am I, but today we're going to learn some facts, and we're not going to spread more fear. We're going to try to figure out what is this, how can we fight it, and how are they trying to fight it right here. All right, let's cut the nonsense. Let's start the show. 3, 2, what up, y'all? Welcome back to the Carpenter's Apprentice. Today, we're out here at
Texas Biomedical Research Institute.
And we're here with
Richard Carrion, Jr.
And I want to thank you for coming on the program today. We're talking about a really serious issue, the coronavirus. But before we get to any of that, I want to make sure that people get an opportunity to know who you are. So can you tell people where you're from and a little bit about you and your background?
I'm from San Antonio, Texas. Born here, educated here. I received my bachelor's degree from St. Mary's, my master's from Incarnate Word, and my PhD from the UTL Science Center.
And tell people what side of town you're from.
I'm from the south side, right off of Flores and Bigfoot.
I love that, man. How does a guy go from being in the south side of San Antonio to being a big-time scientist over here at the
Texas Biomedical Research Institute? Actually, that's a good question. No, my parents were both teachers, so they really instilled in us from an early age education. And also, there was always a desire to do something that could help humans and either be a physician or be a scientist. And now we're able to cure and help millions of people rather than just one person at a time with the vaccines and therapies we're developing.
Let me ask you this, though. Coming up as a kid from that side of town also, I'm wondering what gave you the thought that you could do it?
Again, I had parents that instilled so much confidence in me, even though it was false confidence. One time they made me believe I could play the trumpet after 6 lessons. I couldn't. I never touched a trumpet since. But also, I was very interested in doing experiments at an early age. We did some backyard experiments with tadpoles and the effects of alcohol and hydrogen peroxide on them. So we were doing some advanced stuff back there on the south side of San Antonio.
I love that, man. And now, for any other young people out there who want to get involved in the sciences, say they don't have the opportunity to go to Central Catholic, but they're just in one of the Harlandale School District schools, what would you say to them? How can they get involved?
So the biggest advantage, or the biggest thing you can do, is first, pay attention in class. Don't sleep. That doesn't work. But also volunteer for internships. Try to do rotations if you're in the medical field with physicians. If you're near Texas Biomed, offers internships as well. Try to understand the researchers, find what you're interested in, and don't give up. I think it's all through persistence. It took me a while to get here, but if you don't give up, eventually you'll get to where you need to be.
Love that. Why is science so important?
Science is important because without understanding the basic fundamental processes of how something works, you can't intervene. So for my purpose, I'm a microbiologist, so I study viruses and bacteria primarily. We need to understand how viruses interact with the immune system, with the human host, to be able to intervene and develop therapeutics or develop vaccines. So only understanding how something works completely can you intervene.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up, because let's talk about the virus of the moment, the coronavirus. What is going on? What is it?
So a coronavirus is a type of RNA virus. So we classify viruses by their structure, basically. And this one, there's a bunch of coronaviruses currently that people get, and they cause cold-like symptoms, but it's not as severe as the currently circulating coronavirus. But essentially, this one, as others, emerged from an animal host. So normally these viruses interact with other animals, not really causing illnesses, but when humans become the host or actually become infected with it, sometimes it causes a disease in this case. And because now it's able to transmit to human, it's more of a concern, because now you have this animal virus, which most viruses are, becoming a human virus, and now you have a disease process, which we have now.
Now, how is it spread, the coronavirus?
So it's similar to the flu. It's a respiratory type disease, so it's spread in the same way through droplets. If somebody were to cough on a surface, you touch your mucous membranes, you can get it that way. So the precaution that you use for the flu would actually help against coronavirus.
Okay, so tell people, what are the cautions that we could use against flu?
Again, don't hang around sick people. So if somebody's coughing and sneezing, wash your hands frequently. Try not to touch your faces. These are things that are important. And if you're sick, try to isolate yourself like you would normally do. If you're at a household and you're a sick member, you'd probably stay away from the rest of your family members. So you want to do the same thing. So in San Antonio, we're not in China right now. In the United States, we know where the cases are predominantly. And we're not in an outbreak setting where you have a tremendous amount of infections occurring. Everything is kind of controlled, and is due to some of the halts of incoming flights from China that helped us to stop having a situation like that, having more cases. And also, our healthcare system is much more advanced to other places. We're able to have people in quarantine like we're doing now to prevent them interacting with other people. We're able to have tests. We have basic PPE like gloves, masks that can protect healthcare workers from these diseases. So we're in a better place in the United States than other places.
Two questions that came up from that. So the first one would be at North Star Mall, they said that one of the coronavirus patients was out there. Should people be afraid to go back to that mall?
No, no. So the thing with, so I understand, I don't know the specifics of it, but there was a deep cleaning. So my understanding is the person wasn't symptomatic, meaning they weren't coughing or sneezing. So having symptoms and having that mucus, those droplets being expressed is the main way these viruses are transmitted. It is true that some people don't express it; they can still transmit, but that's a very, very low chance of that happening. Again, going there, having a deep clean, then people are safe going to that place. So again, it's just like the flu. Think of it as a flu. Like flu actually kills many more people than this coronavirus is killing. So the same precautions you would take with the flu, you would take here. Again, stay away from sick people, wash your hands, don't touch your face.
But I'm sure you could forgive people out there for feeling like the world might be on fire.
If
you watch
I mean the news doesn't help. I mean some of these other they're good is good for ratings, right? All this, but if you go to the CDC website, they give you some good sound advice on it. You know, we should be concerned because it is an important issue to be concerned about, but we shouldn't panic about the situation. You know, we have, again, we're in the United States. We have the world's best health care here. We have masks, gloves, everything the doctors need to take care of us. And we're able to isolate these cases when they do happen and prevent other infections.
Are you shocked at the number of people who weren't regularly washing their hands before this outbreak?
No, I witness that unfortunately every day. When you go to some people don't wash their hands after they leave the bathroom. Like how can you do that? No,
I know, man.
yeah,
It's fist bumps all day.
And actually, 20 seconds was that? Is that what they recommend? 20 seconds of hand washing. The sanitizers as well are good. And if you're sick, and everybody should do this, you know, just don't be around other people if you're sick. And we tend to do that when we're older. If we have colds, we say, "I'm sorry, I have a cold. Don't come near me." Yeah. So we should follow the same precautions. But again, I think almost everybody getting sick right now in San Antonio is not because of the coronavirus; it's something else.
Okay. What are you guys doing specifically on this campus to help fight the spread of the coronavirus?
So actually, we're pretty excited about what we're doing here. So we made, or at least I did. My business for the last 17 years has been looking at Ebola virus and Marburg virus and Lassa virus and anthrax. So now we have an opportunity to look at coronavirus. So I actually studied the SARS outbreak back in 2003. So that was the first type of coronavirus that led to the severe disease. And we were able to identify some therapeutics to treat it. So we're doing something similar now. So we have the virus that we're going to begin studying soon. We have some lead candidates for looking at therapeutics that could potentially prevent the virus from replicating. So that's important because if we have a candidate that can prevent replication of the virus, and if you're sick, then we can formulate that so we can give it to you and we can stop you from being sick, essentially. And then we're also looking at developing models, because the only way to test these are to use a model system, and our models are animals, because animals replicate our immune system pretty well. I mean, it's not like humans, but it's close enough. So we're able to develop vaccines and therapeutics in these animal models, and we're trying to do that as well. So we're approaching it from different angles, from basic understanding how we can stop the virus from replicating, so how do we kill the virus, to, okay, in a human or in a living system, how do you prevent that individual, that host, from not getting sick?
Hey, whenever you used to go on first dates and stuff, would you try to impress them with your science knowledge?
No, my jokes. Yeah, I don't think, if I wasn't a scientist, I think I'd be a comedian.
Really?
Yeah, I think Gabriel Iglesias would be out of the picture if I were not a scientist. Yeah.
Hey, very good. Okay, brother, before we get going, I got one question to ask you. Actually, two more. One more. What does it feel like to be a world changer, really? I mean, the things that you're fighting are things that could easily envelop all of us, but you're there on the front lines fighting these diseases.
I think all of us in this field got in here to help humans, to improve human health overall, and we have that opportunity to do it globally now. And most of the viruses that we study have a global impact. So I think it's why we came here, the same reason why teachers teach and doctors treat people. They want to just help people, and that's what we're doing.
Okay. And the last question I got for you is the same question I ask everyone else who comes on this program. What is one life lesson you've learned in your life that folks at home can use in theirs?
One life lesson that I learned in my life that folks can use at home. I think it's don't give up. So I think that's one of the things that it took me a while to get a PhD. I got several degrees, and it's very difficult from where we come from. There's not a lot of PhDs coming out of South Florida and Bigfoot. So you're always encountering people that say you can't do it. So you have to keep focusing. And as long as you don't give up, you reach your goal. So it doesn't matter if you're 25 or 35 or 55. It's just getting there is the important part.
At what point during your pursuit of the PhD did you feel like you were giving up? Do you remember a specific moment?
I don't give up. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I think I always need to win. And that's the problem with me, that I don't like to give up. So
Well, go win this one for us. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today on this beautiful journey. This little monkey got loose, so I'm going to get on going home, but I really appreciate you guys coming out. I hope that you guys have learned a lot more about the coronavirus, and I hope that you guys like the Wash Your Hand rap that's also releasing today. For you folks at home, thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time.